in this video, I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat and hand him to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And this video, this is one of the ones I've been meaning to do. And I told you before how I'm known to sometimes catch the attention of the grammar Nazis who, they're being grammar Nazis as a smokescreen for points I'm trying to make when I go on the YouTube wall and I make rambling comments, you know, talk about the grammar or whatever, and avoid trying to debunk anything I'm saying. But I also admit that I'll do a video and I'll try to make points of a particular thing and make it truth in several points. But if I'll admit I believe in doing a video without looking like I'm reading any kind of thing, even though it's not perfect, saying whatever the hell I believe without anybody, just the same way that, you know, you accuse any president or politician and or preacher reading from a teleprompter. But I'll tell you at a time like a video like this where I'll tell you it's okay. And my ramblings on a YouTube wall and writing should go in hand with what I say in a video here, and bring my iPad up and use as a companion, because bring this up here to make sure, because this right away I'm bringing up some things that I wrote on the YouTube wall and the other social media. And the reason why I think I should be doing more of this is because I'll try, like, between the long-winded written shit that I'll put on a YouTube wall and the rambling videos, I'll say the same shit that I ramble on in a 3-page text, but when I say it in a video, I want to say it all, except when you're doing a video and not writing, you have a tendency is before you get into the other points you want to make, it's going to be a long ass video, or you'll start going rambling about one of the points, you don't even get past one of the other ones. So, but in this, I think a video doing things this way to make sure I get everything clear here. And the way I wrote this one, I'll tell you how I put points and numbered each point. And matter of fact, I had 4 points, but I can go 3, 4, 5. And I did a system here where I'll say about 1, and then I get the second point. The second point will back up point number 1. If I decide to say point number 3, it backs up point number 1 and 2, and then I get down to 4, should back up 3, 4, and 5. In this case, I'm getting to the point, okay? In this point, with the long-winded written text that I am addressing here, the method to my madness here is to tell you why Trump won, and the far left and the Democrats, well, boo-hoo, cry me a river. They brought it on themselves. And my point that I'm getting, if you got this far in this video, I'm going to tell you why they brought it on itself. And this is for people, a few of you out there who watched my rambling videos, even if you didn't watch the whole things. to a certain extent and watched YouTube, looked at YouTube, the stuff I wrote on the YouTube wall, excuse me. Oh, and by the way, the stuff that I write rambling on the YouTube wall, I do put it on my rambling videos, so that if you want to read that and you don't watch my whole video, even if you don't read the whole text, if you don't got that much of attention span enough to read the text and you want to be a grammar Nazi to avoid anything I'm saying, not debunk it, that's okay too. But see, just if you got this far in this video, this is just how I'm thinking here. Oh, and then I got to bring this up. Hold on, I got to bring this back up because when my the screen went down once I'm talking, I got to scroll it back again. You know, should have it set. So what I will do is read it to you, because this is a thing I can tell you right off the bat in a video, but I'll forget to say the few things. So that's why. Okay. And if you guys seen this on my YouTube wall, and I put I read this to you. Oh, I'm sarcastically addressing the people that said I should have organized my thoughts, and I'm telling you, well, I agree with you, and when I smugly decided to do that, be a smartass, you know. But anyway, I'll just go ahead, just get on with it. If you got this far in this video, I'm getting on with it, and I'm just read it to you. I go, for those who said I should organize my thoughts, and my sarcastic tone in there too. I mean a sarcastic tone. I said I decided to go ahead and grace you with taking you up on that. Here's 4 points. And I said, well, here goes, but I can actually have more points than that. But I skipped 1 point. I might tell you later in this video. It says the far left radical Democrats were the ones who, point number 1, cared more about the life of a guy who did time in prison for threatening the life of a pregnant woman and her baby in a home invasion, while having zero sympathy or empathy for the pregnant woman and her baby. So, in other words, when I wrote this, this whole thing, I'm getting through it. I shouldn't be pausing so much, but basically in this whole ramble, I'm telling you how Democrats, and they supported protests on the street on behalf of somebody who threatened somebody's baby, cared more about his life than the victims, the pregnant woman and her baby, and they were also known to, I'm telling you, they don't care anything about life like they say they do right away, because they blatantly show they don't. But anyway, back with reading what I was saying, with trying not to pause too much when I say this, you know, okay, get where I left off. Cared more about the guy who did time in prison. Cared more about the guy who did time in prison for pointing a gun at a pregnant woman's baby, and didn't give a damn about the pregnant woman or her baby. Oh, and these people are most proud. These people of this character, or who do a mass vandalism and protest over that shit in 2020, they're the character of the ones who will go and physically attack and assault pro-lifers that are doing demonstrations for pro-life and attack them. Some of them were probably in the 2020 protests and vandalizing in George Floyd anyway. But anyway, I'm supposed to be reading this all to you that I wrote rather than pausing it. I'm getting to it. So, yeah, so where did I leave off here? Okay, and then point number 2, they encouraged and glorified the nationwide mass protests and mass vandalism and blocked traffic in the name of the guy who I explained in point number 1. So point number 2, I'm making reference to point number 1. Organizing my thoughts, that's what a couple commenters said, so I'm doing that. How do you like it so far? Therefore, it is very obvious and clear, because of points number 1 and point 2, that the fact is that the character of the far left and the character of the large part of the population consisting of the far left and Democrats who were also vandals and protests in this epidemic of mass insanity, did I call it. Their character, even if they didn't participate, they were rooting for that. It's only natural, completely natural. I put point number 3. Their point number 3, completely being okay with government let me say that again. Point number 3, they're completely okay with government-funded abortion, aka mass killing and murder of babies. So I'm telling you, making reference to George Floyd and the protests, and they don't like pro-life people, violence against pro-life people, marched on the behalf of the life of George Floyd, didn't care about the baby and pregnant woman he threatened, which that victim, I heard in other YouTubers, was Latino too. So it's obviously, keep referring back to the 2020 protests, didn't care about that baby that was threatened by George Floyd, but cared more about George Floyd. It's obvious that everybody that participated in the vandalism or rooted for that vandalism, naturally they're going to be pro-abortion and hate pro-lifers, because goes hand in hand with not giving a damn about the life of babies, right? Right. So, okay. My sarcastic tone in taking these pauses. Picking up where I left off here in this. And so I'm saying point number 1 and 2 and point number 3 are very obviously and abundantly clear, because pretty much they're the same people. I'm backing up the other 3 points. Says, yeah, points 1, 2, and 3 are abundantly clear and obvious. These are the same people from all those points I mentioned who are totally okay with committing violence against pro-life people. Excuse me there, because I lost my place in the reading, because keep in mind I'm going hand in hand with my videos of rambling that I just do without reading anything, and I'm reading to you my written rambles. So if I were to write a book, I'm telling the grammar Nazis it's okay to write long-winded things, not worry about grammar, I would have a co-writer, if you will. If I don't have a co-writer in writing a book, I would obviously, if I was using my videos and long-winded text to write a book, I would have to either go and write the book and do proper grammar or punctuation and whatever the fuck. Either do that and or have a co-writer, proofreader, which, yeah, a lot of people who write books do that, But anyway, okay. Yeah, the same character of the people I talked about in all the other points. In my long-winded text here, I am pretty much saying that the character of, they meet all that criteria in the other points. They're obviously the same character of people who are going to commit violence against pro-life activists, because they had no problem with George Floyd pointing a gun at an unborn baby, threatening an unborn baby. Them same protesters that protest for George Floyd, they're pro-abortion activists, and of course they're going to do violence against pro-lifers. I'm summing up the whole character of the left, and this is the why I am laughing at Donald Trump winning, right? Cry me a river, and that's why I say no rat's ass offered, no rat's ass given, which ended my long-winded paragraph here. I mean, I'm hoping that, this kind of enlighten some of you guys here, too. I'm just making sure I didn't skip anything here. All right, yeah, the very end of my written text, once I get down to points number 4, they reinforce each other. And if you got this far in this video, here's what I skipped, too. And another thing about the character of the left too, which is a more recent thing why Trump won and shit that was going around with the illegal immigrants, okay? And this should be point number 5, which it'll back up all the other points here too. And they want to call the rest of us to default to Christianity or default to the far left. There's some of us that can't stand religion, okay, but we default to leaning right leaning, even though we swear and can't stand religion. In some cases, can't stand religion, but will default to Christianity and default to the right on some things. Which, if you do that, you're called a racist, and that doesn't work because some of us support the unwoke black YouTubers, which is, I'm getting to the point in point number 5. If they want to try to call you racist too, nope. The people that will try to call you racist, well, oh yeah, the far right or white leftist punks and simps or whatever, the white leftist degenerate punks and any other kind of Democrat that is into protest try to call you racist. The problem with that is, hey, some of us proudly support the unwoke right-leaning black YouTubers despite you fuckers, okay? So that's another thing. And in saying that, I'm getting to point number 5, which, do you want to call some of the rest of us racist or whatever? Well, let's see. How are you? Nice try, you fuckers, because some of us, or how about like you people to call us racist, okay? Claiming you care more about black people, okay? You seem to care more about, there is black folk that were both, some of them were military vets too. Black folk who lived here all their lives. Under the Biden administration, they're still homeless and still homeless either now. Yeah, you try to call everybody else racist, especially the white leftist punks and that still live in their parents' house. Okay, call everybody else racist. When, yeah, black folk who lived all their lives still homeless and have been homeless for years, but yet blatantly, and a lot of y'all blatantly, okay, let me try this again, blatantly and admittedly, yet some of you admit it, that you care more about illegal immigrants that have the same color of the skin, okay? Illegal immigrants that come in that have the same color of skin, that come right in here, they're being handed EBT cards and being handed debit cards right to them. And they're going right out and committing crimes, robbing people. Some of the people being robbed were actually law-abiding citizens who are black. And some of them that were homeless for years, they're being attacked. Okay? How can you call anybody else racist when you cared more about dark-skinned people or whatever you want to say? Okay, illegal immigrants of the same skin color as the people that are homeless all their lives. Oh, the illegals, yeah, you care more about them, and you want to bring them in just like in droves. While people out there that lived here all their lives are still homeless, right? Are you fucking kidding me? Call the rest of us racist on all that? So anyway, that's the character of the far leftist, the Democrat, the white leftist, or you want to call them white savior. That's their whole character. They couldn't give a fraction of a shit about black folk, black people who lived here all their lives. Some of them who were also military vets. Homeless for years, but they were totally okay with bringing illegal people of the same skin color, okay, that came from those African countries. And you don't want to say they're all bad. The ones that come in illegally the right way, a few of them that maybe have come here illegally that sought asylum and don't bother anybody, you can say about them, but I don't want to ramble too much. I mean, you'd side with some of them and feel sorry for some of them. But I'd be goddamn if anybody on the far left is gonna fucking tell me how my life is gonna be, yeah, and go throwing around the word racist when you never gave a fraction of a shit about black people who were homeless for years, but you'll bring in any of these other people from these countries, come here legally. You're okay with having them come in here illegally. Just keep on doing it, in like we have like an endless supply of space and resources, okay? Just without knowing who they are, and plus, not to mention too, no matter what skin color you bring them in, you don't know what you're bringing in this country. But I can make a whole, you can see whole videos about this. Back in the day, that island in New York, people come in and immigrants, they had to isolate them on this island because people come in here, there was mass die-offs of people dying of so many things, everything from tuberculosis. And African countries right now, you're going to keep bringing them in droves. Got to worry about people might bring Ebola in here and then kill off shitloads of people, but I digress. That's for another thing. But anyway, my point, if you got this far, that's why I'm sitting there laughing. You motherfuckers deserve it. I have said, me and in my own way, and other people have said time and time again to some of the Democrats and people that lean left before, maybe some of the ones that were more old school, you'd have more respect for the left if they started telling some of these younger kids that were on the left the shit that they needed to quit doing. Okay, like saying really radical things on TikTok or whatever, but yeah, there was like this generation of the left that turned radical. That I am actually being polite by saying there was a better part of the left that could have told some of these other ones, hey, you need to quit saying a whole list of shit that you need to quit saying, which I digress there. I'm just going to tell you there, because if I go on and on about that right now, that's going to turn into a long ass video. So that shit I said, talked about it before. They're going on TikTok and all the special interest groups threatening violence against straight people, against Christians, and against pro-lifers, and against people that TikTok had all of that. I'm just giving you a little thing on it, and not to make a long ass video, that nailed the coffin. All that shit that they did on TikTok, that ultimately nailed the coffin. Their arrogance nailed the coffin of the left, and that's why Trump won. And in saying that, that's why I'm laughing, even if you want to say Trump did this or that, oh, felon, even if he was, the blatant arrogance of the far left, all the shit that they never gave a damn about, they expanded the thresholds of all of that shit so badly that even if you want to say Trump was this felon, this or that, even if he was, it didn't matter. He won anyway. That's how they brought on Trump's winning. You know what I mean? And of course, Trump beat all that in court or whatever the hell too. But I'm just wanting to say, you know, if you want to take it far there, you want to tell somebody on the left, you don't really condone anybody committing felonies. You want to say Trump was a felon, right? But you can't go beyond the left and be a Democrat and say, oh, Trump committed all these felonies or whatever, whether he did, whether you believe he did or not, and blatantly support, brush under the rug, the multiple felonies that people just are okay with illegal immigrants committing, and homegrown felons and criminals here have committed too. Drug addicts and lowlifes. Oh, okay with all of them, you know, just doing whatever the fuck they want with no consequences and doing away with the police. no consequences. They shouldn't go to prison, and everything else. That's became the death of the left. There was a time, okay, when the left was able to call a lot of us conspiracy theorists. Oh, you're accusing us of this, and that. You're crazy at saying all the things I said, but I'm saying, especially all the young snots, the young leftist snots, the young white leftist snots, calling themselves Democrats, blatantly admitted the things that we were saying. It's no longer that we're conspiracy theorists, right? And it's no longer, we're no longer looking like conspiracy theorists accusing it. The younger generation of the far left and Democrats are outright admitting the shit on their TikTok and shit. And then when YouTubers, when right-leaning YouTubers, both black and white, are featuring YouTube videos of all these people's TikTok videos admitting all this shit, they're going and flagging these YouTubers and having the videos taken down, right? And occasionally a channel being shut down over shit that they fucking admitted anyway. Why would they flag the YouTubers that are featuring their videos of all the things that they're blatantly saying, when these YouTubers, they were so, if the left, the people who are putting all this shit on TikTok, right, they're so damn proud of it, and they think everything that they think is true, and they think they're right by thinking this shit. You'd think that the right-leaning YouTubers who featured their videos, you'd think that they would see these right-leaning okay, excuse me for not right. They'd be regarding the right-leaning YouTubers as free advertising for them. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make a fucking bit of sense, but they did it. You know, they're saying all this shit on TikTok, and it's content for the right-leaning YouTubers, and the same people that blatantly admit all that shit on TikTok, they're fucking getting mad at the right-leaning YouTubers who feature their shit when they should be regarding them right-leaning YouTubers as free advertising. Yeah, I know I was being repetitive when I said that, but there's a reason for that, you know, almost stammering because I'm almost like trying not to bust out laughing while saying it, so I had to correct myself. Some of us get a little bit, you know, what do you want to call it, rambunctious and excited. Unlike maybe other more articulate YouTubers out there, that's just the way it is. And if you got this far in this video, you got my congratulations. And I'll end this by saying the final word. Trump won. You're living in a basement, living snotty asses who were far left. You lost. You're losers. Cry me a river. No rat's ass offered. No rat's ass given. That's it.